Gabby, the happy holiday girl. Who says you have to wait until certain times of the year to get to celebrate? When every day's a holiday, we can combat stress and have more opportunities to have fun with our friends and family. Come, celebrate with me, and together we can live a holiday life. Hey, what's going on, holiday lifers? It's your girl Gabby, and today is National Science Fiction Day. Guys, it's a day completely dedicated to the absolutely geekiest, nerdiest versions of ourselves and the true fantasies of who we really want to be, like the Jedi Knights in Star Wars, the hot alien chick Gamora and Guardians of the Galaxy. People like that, living their best lives. So stay tuned. We're going to try to figure out more about science fiction, what it is and what it isn't, and maybe, just maybe, by the end of the episode, I won't be quite as confused about the topic. Stay tuned. Honestly, this day was a bit tricky for me because I naturally tend to group everything science fiction and fantasy together, and apparently that's a big taboo, a big no-no, because they are two completely separate topics. Science fiction is more of dealing with space and time travel and things that are a bit maybe more realistic, I guess. Whereas fantasy is things like mermaids and dragons and fairies and goblins. Things that are a bit more animated, I guess. It's kind of tricky, guys, but for the sake of not offending my true science fiction fans out there, I will do my best to keep the categories separate. I think, honestly, I'm probably more of a fantasy person if I was to have to choose between the two, because I like the concept of mermaids. And honestly, guys, my sister-in-law has gotten me into some of these Korean TV shows, and they go into the supernatural with like werewolves and ancient people that have lived 900 years and dragons and just pretty much epicness, and the actors are absolutely beautiful and gorgeous human beings. So right now, if I was not podcasting as much, I'd probably be sitting in my bed watching some sort of Korean fantasy show. But I'll let that go for another time, because right now is Science Fiction Day. And if I'm to stay with that topic, I do have a thing for Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, I know that may tend to go back to the fantasy, but because it has space travel and a bit of time travel, I'm going to choose to say that for the purpose of today, that is science fiction. Guys, the concept of being able to travel throughout space and time is really one that can never be boring. What's really appealing about science fiction is that it allows us to look at what the human potential can become. Science fiction bends the rules of reality and prompts us all to believe and question that there is more out there in space than what's here on the Earth. When doing my research in today, I knew that there were giant get-togethers all about science fiction, and so I did some research and learned about Worldcon, which is totally epic. I would love to participate in one of these events and dress up as a cool science fiction goddess like Lara Croft. I mean, she is just gorgeous, has got a great body, she's educated, she can kick a bad guy's butt. I mean, goodness, I'd like to be Lara Croft. She's pretty cool. But once it starts getting into other characters, you know, you've got Padme and Princess Leia, and guys, I just don't know much about the science fiction world like that. I think fantasy, I think, is where I'm at. I get fantasy. Science fiction, I think, just starts getting a bit too technical. And look, guys, I'm really trying to understand the difference between science fiction and fantasy, but I'm still not getting it, guys. I'm still mixing up the two, and I think more so I'm going to always gravitate toward fantasy. I'll be honest, I really tried to look into Worldcon and how all these other kind of conventions work, and guys, it just kind of went over my head. It's like the equivalent, I love my brother. It's like the equivalent of talking to my brother about magic cards. He is so into magic, guys. I just don't get it, guys. So like last year, I tried to get him some magic cards for Christmas, right? I figured, let me reach out to his world and really try to connect and understand. And guys, I did the research online and I literally felt like I was completely in a different country. The words that they were using to describe these cards, how it works, the different groupings, the mana, all this stuff. And I'm just like, what in the world? So honestly, the equivalent of trying to do this research for Science Fiction Day. Now, science fiction in general, the concept is a bit easier than magic cards. But I really, guys, I just am not, I just don't do a lot of science fiction things, guys. Now, I do enjoy watching a good movie with my husband. I enjoy a good Marvel pick. But again, I'm kind of conflicted. I don't think that's science fiction. I think it goes back to fantasy. So if somebody can help me out there, I mean, I really appreciate it. Star Wars is pretty cool, Darth Vader. But honestly, it was just so long. It's so many videos, so many movies to watch. I mean, I can try to keep up if I sit on the couch and maybe watch my dad watching the movies. But I just, I think for today, the best way I could celebrate is to encourage you to be you. If you are out there and you just are in love with the science fiction, hey, your holiday girl, she is just encouraging you to do you. Today, you go out, you watch a great science fiction movie. Maybe if you have a costume, you dress up like a Jedi. Send me a pic. Honestly, if I had a Jedi costume, I'd dress up just for fun because, guys, I like having a good time. I try not to take things too seriously. So cheers to the alter ego personality in you, let loose on Science Fiction Day. And now it's time for our activity of the day. In honor of National Science Fiction Day, take the time to catch up on a science fiction movie. If you can figure out which kind of movie that is, if you could try to distinguish it from the fantasy, have at it. I think for today, I can for sure get my husband to narrow down what science fiction is. I'm sure I could Google it, but honestly, he enjoys the research into movies a lot more than I do. I will definitely pop the popcorn. I'm good at that. I will curl up in the bed and watch the movie with him, but I'm going to let him pick the science fiction movie. Whatever it is, I'll make sure to send it out to you guys on social media. So maybe if you guys like the movie suggestion, you guys can give me some commentary back on it. And does that sound like a deal? Hopefully. So what do you think? Are you as confused about science fiction and fantasy as I am, or do you have it together? If so, help a sister out and let me know. Head on over to aholidaylife.com now for more holiday fun. There you can sign up to receive a free monthly calendar full of fun holiday activities for every day. You can also leave me a voicemail of what you're doing to celebrate the holiday. You might be on my next episode. Also, if you like my podcast, please be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcast, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast from. You can follow me on social media by using @AHolidayLife on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest, and @AHolidayLife Podcast on Instagram. And for more holiday fun, head on over to my sister podcast, Holiday Trivia, to give my trivia questions a shot. If you get 3 or more out of 5 questions correct, you're well on your way to becoming a holiday lifer. Until next time, keep celebrating the holidays, stay safe, and live a holiday life. I'll talk to you tomorrow.